In the tumultuous setting of war, where humanity faces its darkest demons, a story emerges that unravels the mysteries and horrors of prohibited weapons. From clandestine laboratories where science twists toward destruction to battlefields where desperation breeds monsters, this is a journey through the abyss of human innovation. Chemical and biological weapons lurk like poisonous shadows, cluster bombs threaten to turn cities into fields of ruin, and nuclear weapons hang like swords of Damocles over our heads. But beyond the horrors of war, there is a fight for justice and humanity, where international laws stand as bulwarks against unbridled madness. This is a story of challenges and prohibitions, where the very survival of humanity is at stake. Enter a world where the line between life and death is as thin as a sheet of paper, and where the fate of humanity hangs in the balance. First of all, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. That being said, let's get started. Let us see together a world where the line between ethics and destruction blurs, where the deadliest weapons are considered too horrible for even the cruelest battlefields. These are not just tools of war, they are the epitome of terror, capable of unleashing indiscriminate suffering and endangering the very existence of humanity. Let me take you on a journey through the depths of war depravity, where rules are broken and morality is twisted in the presence of these 10 banned weapons. 1. Chemical and biological weapons. Death in a jar. Imagine poisonous gases trailing like the shadow of death, infecting not only the soldiers, but also the air they breathe, the ground they walk on, and the water that quenches their thirst. Banned by the Geneva Convention in 1925, these weapons represent a nightmare in which death is distilled in a jar. 2. Cluster bombs. The death trap. Like the scourge of desolation, cluster bombs rain down on the ground, dispersing not only immediate destruction but also a grim threat to the future. Their submunitions, like faceless ghosts, haunt the fields even after the clamor of war has ceased. 3. Microwave weapons. Unbearable heat. The invisible waves that cut through the air carry with them a heat that is felt even in the bones. With no outward signs of injury, this weapon causes unspeakable torment, defying the most basic conventions of humanity. 4. High-power laser weapons. Destruction rays. Imagine beams of concentrated light that cut through steel like butter, but their blinding brilliance leaves men as shadows in the darkness, with the permanent darkness of blindness. 5. Dum-dum bullets. The betrayal of military medicine. These bullets, designed to tear flesh and destroy bodies, are the antithesis of mercy on the battlefield. Its effect, a betrayal of the very essence of military medicine, leaves wounds that will never heal. 6. Sonic weapons. Disorientation waves. Like an infernal symphony, high-intensity sounds tear away the sense of hearing and tear apart the mind. They are a torture that defies the very definition of humanity. 7. Nuclear weapons. The threat of annihilation. In the belly of these beasts, the energy of an imprisoned sun is unleashed in a hellish storm that devours entire cities. Their very existence is a warning of the annihilation that awaits humanity if not kept in check. 8. White phosphorus ammunition. The fire that doesn't go out. Like the breath of a dragon, these incendiary bombs unleash a fire that burns even in water. White phosphorus is the enemy that consumes without mercy, a flame that knows no compassion. 9. Directed energy weapons. The future of destruction. With the precision of a surgeon, these weapons tear targets down to the millimeter. They are the archetype of lethal technology, a promise of controlled destruction lurking in the shadows of the future. 10. Space weapons. The last frontier of war. In the infinite void, these weapons threaten not only to destroy terrestrial targets, but to destabilize the very fabric of the cosmos. They are the final madness of a humanity that dares to challenge even the universe. But things don't stop there. Just imagine a world where the air we breathe is laden with deadly toxins, where the land we farm is polluted to the core and the oceans become watery tombs. Chemical and biological weapons are like a living nightmare, capable of unleashing indescribable and lasting suffering in any corner of the planet. But that's not all. The shadow of nuclear annihilation looms over us, with the ability to wipe entire cities off the map in a fiery, heartbreaking blink. While these weapons may seem like mere tools of war, they are actually a perversion of human innovation, a betrayal of our own progress. However, the real danger lies not only in their ability to wreak immediate havoc, but in the cycle of violence and retaliation they would inevitably unleash. The use of these weapons could lead the world into a downward spiral of mutually assured destruction, where the only guarantee is total annihilation. Ultimately, the very existence of humanity is at stake. If we do not unite to ban and prevent the use of these weapons, we could face a dark and gloomy fate, becoming victims of our own capacity for destruction. The choice is clear. We must act now to protect our future and that of generations to come. And we see how these weapons, emerging from the darkest corners of the human mind, are the fruit of a desperate search to gain advantage on the battlefield. Some have their roots in science, where brilliant minds became architects of destruction, while others were born from the desperation of those who sought to defy the rules of war. Chemical and biological weapons, for example, emerged from macabre experiments in clandestine laboratories, where scientists played with life and death in an attempt to find more efficient methods of killing. Cluster bombs, on the other hand, were conceived as a response to the need to annihilate the enemy en masse, regardless of the consequences for the civilian population. However, as these weapons were deployed on battlefields, their horrors became clear to the world and a set of international laws were enacted to ban them. The Geneva Convention in 1925 marked the first attempt to end the use of chemical and biological weapons, recognizing their capacity to cause indiscriminate and lasting suffering. Since then, numerous treaties and conventions have been established to prohibit the use of inhumane weapons, such as cluster bombs, nuclear weapons, and high-powered laser weapons. These prohibitions not only seek to preserve human life and dignity, but also to protect the very fabric of our society. Because ultimately, the true measure of our humanity lies in our ability to reject violence and embrace peace. But anyway, in this dark and harrowing journey through the depths of war and barbarism, a light of hope emerges in the form of international prohibitions and conventions. While banned weapons represent a grim crossroads for humanity, they are also a reminder of our ability to resist and fight for a more just and peaceful world. Ultimately, the fate of humanity lies in our hands, and it is up to us to reject violence and embrace peace. As we face the challenge of preserving our existence in a world marked by conflict, we must remember that together we are stronger and that, with determination and solidarity, we can forge a future where weapons of destruction are just a dark memory of our tumultuous past. What do you think? And again, my friend, thanks for joining us. If you liked this video, don't forget to like it, share your comments and subscribe to our channel for more fascinating stories. Until next time.